Hello, one and all, and welcome to another adventure on Spirit Sessions of View the Light, where we are welcoming our dear friend Keira Lani back on. Oh, Keira, so good to see you and hear you and be in your presence again. But before we do that, we um what she's going to talk about today is enter the shadow to claim your light. What deepness that's going to be. So grab your coffee, your cocoa, or whatever, your tea, and come and join us and go and like our page and on our YouTube and share this out with those who you feel called to share it out with. And we'd be really excited. And before we start, my co-host Rhonda is going to pull the card for the week.
Well, I just pulled the card from Kyle Gray's Angels and Ancestors Oracle, produced by Hay House.
So we can see the card.
Yeah, I'll bring it up. I'm bringing it up. I'll go big. Sorry. So you can see it. Sorry. There we are. Okay, so this is the shapeshifter. Transform and unveil your gifts. And it goes with today's topic. And honestly, you can't make this stuff up. You may have been through challenges and lows, but now you are in a space of transformation. You are moving beyond your past challenges and honing your current strengths. There are opportunities for you to discover and rediscover the gifts and talents you were born with and born to share. All of your past experience have only helped you to see how strong you really are. You are an amazing soul who can change and transform in ways people least expect. You have many talents that you will share in your lifetime. You are guided to stay focused on the light, knowing that it will guide you forward. So there you are, everyone. That's the card for today. And it really does speak to our topic today. And I'm glad to see my friend Keira, who I have met in person, I'm happy to say. And one of those pictures was in my forest with her. We got to share my forest with her. And Keira, thank you for joining us today. And I'm going to put you on the big screen. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're up to nowadays? As
yes.
I share this out.
And oh my gosh, like you said, you cannot make this stuff up. Wow, that card. It's like I could just say, "Well, really what have I been up to?" Just listen to Rhonda's card. That says it all.
Pretty much sums it up.
So, pretty much sums it up. I got through that card. I just got such the connection to that shamanic death and rebirth that I have been in a death portal this year, literally. And when I met Rhonda, I was in Canada because my sister had passed. And so that means that was almost 5 years ago now when I got to go into Rhonda's healing forest, and that picture of me hugging her tree, I was receiving such deep heart healing. And in my family, we really have a tradition of honoring our loved ones on the other side of life for 4 years. And my sister had just made that 4-year. We were celebrating her birthday 4 years and some months after she passed. So that would have been, so it's actually been almost 6 years now, actually, since I was with Rhonda. But it had just been 4 years, and my son was going through a very challenging time, and he and I got to go to the family celebration, which was the 4th time that we gathered in her honor. We had to do some of those over Zoom, of course, because of the timing. And this last February, this year in 2024, I went to visit my son. I was bringing him special food, and I found him lying cold in his bed over a pile of the drugs that I thought I had successfully helped him kick 3 months prior. And it's interesting how we go through these intense experiences as a healer. I know many of you who subscribe to this channel are like me, have been on your healing journey for many years. And my sister was not my first close loss. I have had a journey of loss since I was 5 years old, and I lost my father and my mom's sister when I was 8. And so I feel the reason I'm just diving right into this death portal with all of you, the reason that I'm talking about the shadow is because I know that my particular life path has been such that I'm gifted certain things that can possibly help you because of these dark experiences. And because I've learned not just to process the loss and the grief, but also the anger and the frustration and the ways that I have hurt others, that I may have contributed to others being in pain. And that's what I'm talking about when I say go into the shadow. Sometimes we can just go back to like, oh, this person hurt me and I'm going to forgive. And that feels like you're going into the shadow. When I talk about going into the shadow, going into this true shamanic death portal, it's about facing those parts of myself that get brought to the light when I see someone else suffering or when I look at my own suffering. And so, what I've been up to this year has really been about my own healing and pulling back from helping others because that's been my really clear guidance. And luckily, just before my son passed, I had signed up to integrate a new modality into my vast toolbox of healing tools. If you've met me before, and I did kind of jump right into now and not talk about any of my past, but if you've met me before, then you may know that I've been on a journey of gathering self-healing tools and tools as a healer for my entire life. Starting at that 5-year-old age when I wanted to understand where my papa went. And so I began meditation. And I know I'm taking you kind of a winding path. So I hope you're following me. And I'm just so grateful to have this opportunity to bring you into my world and feel that incredible heart that I have for you that has developed through learning to love myself through all of these intense transformational times that each death portal symbolizes. And right now, I've been integrating this new emotional alchemy technique that's called neurosomatic attunement, which is bringing me back into the space where I can help others. And from that moment of losing my son, I felt a deep womb medicine brewing. And so, if you're curious to learn more about that, I'm not going to share about that here because it's still brewing. And
Oh,
be
neat.
birthing around the Chinese New Year after the 1-year anniversary of my son's passing because it's not a 9-month. We're kind of at the 9 months right now. And so I'm ready to come back into the world in the capacity of stepping back into service. And next year, there's some really powerful teachings that have been dropping in through my own self-healing process that I'm excited to share with all of you.
Oh,
And
awesome.
so back to the now with this emotional alchemy healing, because this is incredibly powerful work that I'm in the process of integrating. I completed the training and I'm offering right now, I have 25 more free sessions to offer this month, or into the end of the year, into the new year. And this work is really powerful because it goes right into the body wisdom and the body knowing, which a lot of my work, it's very similar to work I've done in the past. If you've worked with me in the past, Teresa could probably share about what it was like to work with me in the past, because I had the great distinct pleasure of working with Teresa fairly in depth. But this new work is actually bringing together all of those modalities along with a very specific way of muscle testing and focusing on alchemizing specific emotions that may be keeping you stuck. So this works with physical healing, with people have cleared food sensitivities completely so they can eat whatever they want. People have completely changed their financial reality by clearing the emotional causes of the patterns that keep us stuck in life. People have called in their soulmates by clearing, again, those emotional roots that have caused us to continue to maybe call in those destructive relationships. There are just, it works in all the ways that we need healing within in order to become more authentic, on purpose, and powerful, making our own choices in life, participating in the miracle. Someone said that recently, and I wish my brain was such that I always remember who said what so I could give credit where credit is due. But I heard that recently, and that's really what we're doing in this community that I'm a part of, and thereby in the community that I'm creating in my role as a healer, is participating in the miracle of life. And thank you, love, for sharing this with your son. And feel free to reach out directly to me if there's a way that I can be of service in helping you to process those emotions that get stuck. And grief gets really sticky. I will say this experience of losing my son shattered me to the core. And I realized it's not like past experiences where I felt like I could kind of pick up the pieces and glue them back on and get on with my life. Some experiences in life shatter you so completely that you really do have to be reborn.
Wow.
And I am in a, like I said at the beginning, a death and rebirth portal right now, and really coming back to the core of my work in communicating with the trees and the elementals and the beings of nature, gardening, working hands-on in the world is what has first and foremost brought me back. And I'm so grateful to be here to share with all of you this incredibly powerful work and give you the opportunity to try a full 90-minute session with me completely free of charge. This is like kind of unheard of. I usually,
yeah,
you know, it's really, it really is. And just see what can happen, because miracles are real. And I almost lost my faith when the one miracle I most wanted was denied me.
Right.
And yet I've experienced miracles, I've witnessed miracles, and I know that we can, when we really work in conjunction with the spirit, with the God, if you work with God or the angels or the collective consciousness, when we really connect to that power greater than ourselves and work with it, we can't expect to be taken care of completely without participation. And we can't expect to just be able to control everything in our lives. But we can create a life well lived and leave a positive impact in the world. And that's what I'm here to offer to you, an opportunity to really face that part of you. And it may mean really looking at ways that you may have hurt others, as well as ways that you have been hurt by others. And sometimes the hardest is the ways that we hurt ourselves, and forgiving yourself for hurting yourself, forgiving your former self for not showing up, and acknowledging that we can't change the past, but we can change the way we move forward in life. So I realize I kind of just went off on about 20 tangents just now. So I'm going to bring it back to you and your question. I think somewhere in there I answered your question. It was fairly open-ended.
Yeah. I love that.
Oh, that is beautiful.
We'll read it out because we do a podcast. Soon all will be restored to love, giving no need to give, take or get, all directly from my heart. This is most naturally human. Higher consciousness, bless all life with abundance. Yeah,
Yes.
That's lovely.
Bless all life with abundance. And this is truly, I love that.
That's a Hawaiian concept, isn't it? Bless what you wish to have.
I feel like that's a very cross-cultural concept. But I love that it distills this work that we're doing here together in this world, because, Teresa and Rhonda and this whole Breakthrough Network team and, Spirit Sessions ladies I'm especially close with, all of us are doing this work of creating the world that we want to live in.
Yes.
That's why we do these shows, right? Because we want to bring in more people into the way that we see the world, so that the world becomes, the experience we have on the outside of the world becomes the way that we want to see it more and more. And I am seeing this, even while I'm also finding myself very frustrated that the world continues to be so hard. And I see so many people who are stuck in their insular viewpoints, putting their blinders on and looking for someone to say to reflect back what they already believe, instead of opening their mind to learn something new. And I will be the first to say that I have strong opinions about things, and they're based mostly on my own experiences. And I am really excited to listen to your opinion and your experience, and have my mind changed if it is opened in that way. That's to me what life is really about. So yeah, I love that vision being brought in, of that shift in consciousness, and that all will enjoy abundance, and that there is enough for all, and we can really live our best life here, and have it all. Even knowing that life comes with challenges and blessings and challenges, and they're all intertwined, sometimes feels more balanced one way or the other. So yeah, thank you for sharing that.
I love that.
So with this new protocol that you're giving away, you do muscle testing, and what else is involved in that? And is it like activations or clearings, or how do you help the people clear those emotions that are trapped, that are out of their system?
Yeah, so thank you for asking that. So we start with a belief. It's like the easiest way to think of it is just like a belief. So we start with where you're at right now. So say you have been, I guess we talked about food sensitivities. So say you have an issue with eating gluten, and every time you eat gluten, you feel bloated or heavy or sleepy. Maybe you just can't even go on with your day because you
No, my
ate,
eyes swell up.
or your eyes swell up. Just those little minor things,
Those
right?
minor things, yeah.
And then we would then say, okay, so this is a belief that has been really grounded in because it's your experience that you've had. So I think the food sensitivities, I'm still working on my eczema. I don't have my own personal testimonial, but I do know that my teacher cleared himself from gluten, dairy, sugar. There were like 4 or 5 different things that he worked on clearing himself from. And I know other people have had really good results with it in that regard. And um, I'm just getting started. But so, anyways, we'd say, okay, now how would you like to feel if you ate a roll at your family dinner and you wanted to try that fresh bread, so you ate it? How would you like to feel? And then we come up with a statement that feels really good. Like, every time I eat bread, I have energy. I feel great. I see clearly. And, we make it however it fits into your psyche the best. And then we do, we do a prayer. So we do that connect to spirit. And then we muscle test and find whatever is the most prominent emotion. And I just kind of get out of the way. I connect with your energy. This is all full permission from you and your energy body that you're wanting to be tested. And then once we come up with the emotion, then we use breath work and visualizations and movement and sometimes touch. And it's very intuitively guided using hypnotherapy, breath work, energy healing, whatever modalities are at my disposal, whatever self-healing practices. And then we stir that emotion up. We really feel it fully because you have to feel it first before you can release it. Part of why we end up with things stuck is because we try to get rid of the negative emotions without feeling them. And so we feel it and then we get it totally stirred up and then we release it. And then we do as much of this breath work, movement, tapping, whatever comes up that's needed to clear it to where it feels like that emotion is completely cleared. It's testing that it's clear. And then we test that belief again and we see how close to 100% we've got with, I can eat bread whenever I want and I feel great.
Wow.
And then we continue clearing the emotion. Usually we do 3 emotions in a session. And it can be that one session you just have that miraculous result. And sometimes there are a lot of layers to get through. It can take 6 months, just like any other protocol, to have complete results.
Wow, that's exciting. I love that.
Yeah.
And
It's really exciting because I feel like it's like a shortcut to the work that I've already done because, I previously would probably have done a lot of the similar things, but I would go entirely with my own intuition and what the other person is saying. And so taking that intellectual piece out of it, and then the breath work that we do is really specific somatic breath work that really gets you into your body quickly. So it feels like a little bit of a shortcut to all the other modalities. Well, it's also just seamlessly blending into them.
Great.
I love that because I could see that from having worked with you before, and how you would tune in to things about communication about my body at a different level, and things. And it was like, wow, this is pretty neat. And now with the new modality, it is more of what your heart-centered service is already about, and taking them in. So I'm excited about this. That's so you.
Yeah, it really is. And yeah, I'm excited to see what will birth through this process of just like stepping into service in this way as well. And just really connecting. My goal is to gift 30 people. So I'm sure I'll end up doing more than one session with some people, but I really would love to actually, I've already been connecting with people I already know. I'd love to connect with some of you that I haven't met before.
Yeah.
And I'd love to include you spirit sessions ladies, including Bex, and I don't remember who else you said could possibly come in here, since it's been a while since I've been on the show.
Yeah.
But I'd love to gift each one of you as well, and then hear what your experiences are, because it's part of my process of learning as well. And I realized I didn't put my my group link in our links, but
you can put it in the comments, and if you can send it to me, and I'll edit out the chats.
But I was realizing that very soon I'll be doing a group session inside of my Facebook group as well. And so even if you just find me, Keira Lani, on Facebook or Instagram, I'm on there as well. I will be doing some group sessions if you're feeling shy and you want to experience it on a live before you actually come into a one-on-one session with me. But if you are watching this today and you would like to claim one of these sessions to really alchemize some of those emotions that have been keeping you stuck, and and have compassion for yourself that a part of you has chosen to stay stuck, and that part of you is not going to be removed as we clear that out of the way. That part of you is going to be uplifted and honored and seen in a way that they haven't ever been seen before. That's been my experience with doing this work myself and receiving it from my colleagues and self-facilitating. I've been doing a lot of self-facilitating to make sure I get to practice every single day. And it's been bringing online parts of me that I'd never met before, as well as the parts of me that I thought I had lost in this most recent tragedy. And so to me, I mean, that's my testimonial right now. Is I realized after just feeling completely shattered and just going to baseline, where I was doing the business that came in and I wasn't really seeking out any more business, and I really lost all desire for money and things, and and all that I had energy for was my garden, my family, my home. And that was good. I realized some people go through what I went through and they don't even have the energy for garden, family, and home anymore. Yeah. And so that's like a testimonial to the work that I had already done with myself my entire life. But this work has brought me back online in ways that I wasn't sure I was coming back online. Wow. But I realized that I had started living in survival mode, and that I wasn't actually available for the full level of life that I want to live. And that's not really honoring those loved ones that have passed if we don't live our life fully. And I realized that I am in the second half of my life now, and I can't be in survival mode right now. I can still get up and work and get myself going and do things, but I need to have something to rest into. I plan to live for a long time. And so I went into this work with the intention that it would bring me back online as an entrepreneur. And it really has, to levels that I know I'm above and beyond where I was when I stopped working in February. And I'm really excited for those of you that will receive what I'm channeling right now, because it is really powerful. These first few sessions that I've done have been so powerful. And I have a testimonial I'll be dropping on my page soon from my most recent one, which was so beautiful because I'm seeing myself facilitating things that I didn't have the confidence to facilitate before, that now it's just like, it seems like I'm taking a huge leap from where I was last month and into the new year. So I'm very excited for all of you that have the opportunity to grab one of these sessions while they're open, because they're going to go fast. I'm sure of it.
It's so exciting. What is like the biggest indicator, like, yes, this is what I need to go to Keira for, you know, to get this? Is it because you've been through something, or because you already identify a blockage that you have, or just
well, it could be one of those things, but I would say the biggest indicator is the feeling that you get. Like, if I say, I'm so excited for those of you that are going to claim these sessions, do you say, well, that's me? Do you, because it could be anything that you want to work on. It really could be literally anything at all that you want to work on. It could be that you want to work on your procrastination, or really common is the self-worth. People end up in uncomfortable situations because they aren't valuing themselves.
Imposter syndrome is such a big thing that happens with most light workers. But I mean, you know, we always go, we can't be light and love, and then somebody turns around, well, you just snarled at me. Well, sorry.
Well, see, that's so true, right? Whatever the belief is, there is a confirmation that, and so if you want to really get the most out of one of these sessions, if you're like, yes, I'm going to grab one, and you want to make sure that you really get the most out of it, then I encourage a fun, maybe it's fun, maybe it's not so fun, but it could be useful exercise where you look at whatever it is, like if it's imposter syndrome, and you actually like write down those things that, like, even if you've been working on, oh, cancel, clear that, I'm not saying that to myself anymore, you know, even if you've been catching yourself, what are those things that you're catching yourself thinking about? Oh, I could never do what that person does. Or why does everybody else who has so much less experience than me seem to have made it, and I'm still here slogging away? You know, there are a lot of different versions of it, right? And so then you think of like, okay, is that loop that's in my brain? You write it down, and all of those things that have confirmed that for you, all of the reasons why you know it's true, because this has happened, that person said that, this other person said this thing, oh, I've been hearing that my whole life, and I can see what my teeth look like when I look in the mirror, and, you know, like whatever it is for you, because we all have those. And I was over 40 before I knew that I was pretty. I was like, I thought I was like horrid as a young person. And
No.
now I'm having to like deal with the aging process. And, and other people look at me and they're like, why would she say that when I have this and I have this other thing? And look at her. She look like, I know how people's minds work. And I'm just another one of you. I have them too. We all do. Right. And so if you write down all those things in preparation for the session and then really think of like, what would I really like to feel like instead of all of this? Then we can go even deeper faster because you'll have gotten some of the first part out of the way. Yeah. So that's how you can kind of start working with yourself this way too, because just bringing things to the surface can be really a powerful healing.
That's Melinda. She's saying way to go show glow, Keira. Sometimes you have to go and let StreamYard know that you're okay to have your name on Facebook. There's some kind of thing that comes on and most of us click through it. But that's why we've got Facebook users instead of people's names. And light and dark, how do you say that? Inextricably combined. Yeah.
It is. It would be inextricably and
combined.
We're not going to worry about spelling. We know what she meant.
Yeah, I know. I can't even say the word, so don't no judgment.
Yeah, we all, and so many of us are trying to type on our phones.
And I can't see without your glasses.
I always hit send, and then after it pops up, I see all the errors that I made.
That. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like our first post, which had Sharo instead of Shadrow, and
right, and you had already shared that with me, but
I changed it. I edited.
Hey, look at this though. That comment. I was ugly and stupid for 40 years. Now I marvel at my genius and my beauty. Isn't that beautiful?
Is that so? Awesome. Are you saying you too, just like me, or are you just repeating what I said? I'm curious.
No, that's Melinda stating that. So
so you had the same experience that I did. Yeah. I was never stupid. That was actually one of the, I was ugly and too smart for people to like. That was like, because I was like the class brain. So I never thought I was stupid, but I thought I had to pretend I was stupid for people to like me.
I did that at school.
And that nobody would like me if I was too smart. That's because that was that I had confirmation, and all through elementary school that nobody likes the brain. So yeah, it's
only if you let them copy from me. Yeah, I know. But now we realize that it's what gets us through. We have to use our brains, and yes, we are beautiful, and our lifestyle,
Yeah.
As I said, I may not be always pretty, but I'll always be smart.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
So, I'm getting old. So yeah, don't waste the pretty, as my sister says, but I'll always be smart. So,
I think that I think we start to learn to see our beauty I hope so. I don't know. I still, it's funny because, when I was a teenager, I remember thinking my grandma looked old. Now my mom is almost 10 years older than my grandma ever was. And I still don't think she looks old. I mean, yes, really? I see where she has more wrinkles,
right.
And it's what happens. So I remind myself of that because I still look at myself and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that neck.
I know.
Don't look at my neck.
Yeah.
Now
everybody, the camera angle is up here. Because
yeah. And if it's worse comes to worse, just go to Snapchat and use one of those filters. They're great. You can put makeup on instantly.
That's so cute.
Keira, tell us, so we can find you at Keira Lani. What's the name of your group?
It's currently called Prosperous Healers.
Prosperous Healers. Okay.
And
So
it should just be that link, the facebook.com/groups/prosperous healers.
And you'll find it in the description to the podcast in YouTube or on the Facebook Live, which you can rewatch. I'm just trying to put that little, no, that's okay. And also, can we ask you your 3 questions? So,
Are you ready? Here's your drum roll.
Yes, you may ask me 3 questions. Is this like a bridge that I get to cross if I give you the right answers? I feel like we're in like a fairy tale where it's like there's the oracle at the gates. We will ask you 3 questions.
Oh yeah.
You will either be immolated or you will be.
Oh, like Monty Python.
Oh.
What is the speed of a swallow going from South America to? Yeah, no,
like,
it's
wait,
not.
Do I want the questions?
No, it's okay. We just asked them. We'll start with a really easy one, and then we'll work up. And then Teresa, you can give her the hard one. So the really easy one is, what's your favorite crystal that you're working with right now? And we know you like them, so that's just a given because we've known you for years. So.
Yes, and one of the things I've been known to do is energetic surgery with crystals. But this one that I brought today, show it to you that are on
Get
video.
Up a little closer. Just look. Wow. Is that green? Or is that
It is
gray?
Green. I'm showing you. And this one is my dragon stone.
Oh, I can see that. Yes.
Can you see that? If I tilt it just right, you can see that its eye actually has a hole that goes all the way through.
Yeah,
I'm going to show you the other side too. The other side, he's more camouflaged because this is where all the crystals
okay,
are.
so is that tourmaline? No, what is
this?
that?
This is a pedalite.
Oh, a pedalite.
It comes from Peru. And I had this stone for a while before it revealed its dragon face to me. One day, and then I just could never unsee it again.
Yeah, I love that.
And so this one is a very shamanic stone with the combination of being mined in Peru and the shape of the dragon. And I don't honestly remember right now what they say epidolite is for, but
my book's too far out of reach.
Yeah.
So,
but you can look it up. It's EPIDOLITE, I believe.
Yeah, epidolite. Yeah.
And it's a very strong, energetic grounding. It's like a portal stone in my experience. It's like it opens the portals. And Teresa, with all of her dragon work, I can tell that she's already communing with this dragon stone. And I remember I really wanted to tell you all the story of how I ended up back on the show this particular time, because I had sort of been in touch with Teresa a tiny bit right after my son passed, and then at this last month, when was it? Was it still September or was it October? I think it was still September when I reached out to you.
Yeah, I think so.
This is the time when I had just finally been coming back to, for some reason, there were these 3 a.m. calls that I kept waking up for and being on calls with this healing community where I've been learning the neurosomatic attunement modality. And I didn't know if I was going to come back into that training or not at that time. And then all of a sudden these 3 a.m. calls come and I'm back in there. And then every single day I'm in my garden, I see dragon clouds every day, everywhere. Every cloud was a dragon for that month. And they kept saying, you need to reach out to Teresa. You need to reach out to Teresa.
Oh, so your dragons were talking to her dragons, and it's all good.
Yeah. And so I was like, so I finally did. And that's how I ended up back on the show. And so that's why when you said crystal, I was like, well, of course, the dragon.
I just took out my Judy Hall crystal book, which is beautiful. But pedalite, and it's the green one. It says it's convalescent emotional body, self-pity, anxiety, realistic glows, emotional trauma, grief, stamina, nervous and immune systems, dehydration, brain, thyroid, gallbladder, adrenal
Oh
health.
my God.
So,
We
there
all
you
need some of these.
Wow. Yeah, that's a good one.
go.
Even the
So yeah, just like I said, shamanic portal stone.
Yeah. The one thing about portals, and we're going to do a show on portals, is if you open a portal, you have to make sure you close the portal. You have to have good portal hygiene because you don't want to
Yes.
leave your portals open because you never know what's coming in.
Well,
So
I've had experience with that before, but I won't tell you guys here because we got a few minutes. But
okay. So Teresa, ask Keira your favorite question.
okay, Keira, there you are, ready to give another TED Talk. But this time they're playing your music as you're walking up to this front of the stage. What song are they playing that's really making you tune into yourself and feel grounded and expansive? Is that too much? What's your favorite song lately?
Lately, it's interesting because I've been listening to kid music lately, and I can't actually think
say
of the
Baby Shark.
name of the
Not
song.
Baby,
Shark.
not Baby Shark. Not Baby Shark.
Don't tell me that one. No.
No, not kid music. I'm sorry. My son is 23. So when I
Okay.
say kid,
Yeah. Okay.
I don't mean littles.
Okay.
I mean like
Young adult music.
wild young adults. So
generation's
I've been
music.
listening to this band with my son called Grim Salvo, and and that's been like kind of my jam, but I can't remember any of the names of the songs. And I feel like when you first asked me this question, the last time I was on your show, the same song popped into my brain that popped in today. So maybe this is my song for all of my life. But the song that came in is Grateful Dead, Eyes of the World. Wake up to find out that you are the eyes of the world.
Wow.
Right now, discover that you are the song that the morning brings. I feel like that's my song.
Ooh,
I was gonna sing one of my songs that I wrote, but for some reason wasn't feeling it at the moment.
You did that. Oh my God.
Oh,
Wow.
Grim Salvo
Okay.
looks pretty dark, I have to say. Black
Yeah,
Rainbow. That looks like the happiest tune they have. But that's just me.
Yeah, see, I'm letting out my dark side.
Yeah.
I see.
When I was in high school, my favorite band was Jane's Addiction,
Yeah.
and I definitely have listened to metal, and I went to Mount Shasta with this tour guide of spiritual tour guide of Mount Shasta, and we were driving down and I started singing Jane's Addiction, coming down the mountain, one of many children. And this guy, he says, I used to listen to music like that, but I only listen to healing frequencies now. And I said to him, dude, all music can be healing.
Yeah.
And so if you're feeling like you need to rock out to metal, then that's healing for you. If that's not your vibe, I'm not going to force it on you. I'm not saying you have to listen to metal to get healing.
Yeah. Because sometimes you got to match your mood for a minute with the music, and it helps you to release when you're at that level, release the anger, release whatever, and then you can move on to other songs.
Right. Just like we were talking about the emotional alchemy, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay, that was a lot of songs, but that was fun.
Last thing, have you seen a UFO lately? You're in Oregon. Have you seen one in Oregon near your home? And lately, or the last while,
Lately,
or ever? So
ever, I've seen many, and I think one of my favorite UFO experiences in Oregon was actually out at my mom's land where I grew up, which is about an hour from here. And I know I told the two of you about one that was here. But this one, it was a 4th of July party. We have like 4th of July campouts at my mom's land with my sister and my cousin and all the kids. And we were all watching meteor showers. And there were plenty of meteor showers and we were enjoying them. But then the reason this was my favorite is because my youngest son, who lives here with me, the 23-year-old, and I both saw this. We both saw where we thought we were seeing a satellite, but then it suddenly turned around and went in a circle and back the other way. And we both were like, that was not a satellite.
No,
That
they
was
don't do
not a
that.
shooting star. That was a UFO. And, so I think that was my favorite one because I shared it with my baby.
Yeah, and it's nice to have somebody that's there who can verify what you just saw. So yeah, it's really cool. That's really cool. Because there's so many satellites now. We don't know if they're satellites or they're UAPs or UFOs. They're just going on. Unless they do something dramatic, like you said, you wouldn't know, right? Because there's just so many Starlinks, so many other space junk up there going all around. Yeah, that's quite.
I know.
Something special.
And I do think that they hide. I told you earlier about that one I saw in Sedona that was hiding in the Starlink. All the Starlinks are going in a line. And then all of a sudden, one of them got out of line and then circled back and got back in. So I think,
or maybe they do that. So they say, if you're looking at the Starlink and you saw this, do you know what I am? Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. Very cool. Well, thank you, Keira, for being with us today. Teresa, so say again, you have tell them again your special offer you have 30 or less now. Probably lots of people have signed up since then. About your special offer one more time before we go.
Yeah. My special offer is for a one-on-one emotional alchemy healing session with me on Zoom. Unless you happen to be in Ashland, Oregon, we could get together and be hands-on. You never know. But anyways, so I did put a calendar link in the description for this show. So you don't even have to reach out to me, but do reach out to me. Find me on Facebook or Instagram. I'm Keira Lani .treegong on both of those platforms. And I'm also just Keira Lani is my personal profile on Facebook. And I would love to connect with you for one of these sessions and just see what is possible. Because that's really how we work with miracles, is we choose to just set aside disbelief. You don't have to believe that we're going to create a miracle together, but what if we do? Yeah. What if we do completely transform your life in one session?
Wouldn't that be so cool?
See what's possible. Yeah.
It's always possible, as we know.
It is possible.
It's always possible. Thank you so much. And come back next week. Marla is going to be on talking about new German medicine. And I don't know what it is. So I'm so glad she's coming on and explaining what she's working on now. She was a emergency room nurse. She still works in nursing, but she's studying this modality, this new old modality, new German medicine. So.
That'll be fun.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be interesting. So we'll see you later, everyone. See you next Sunday. And remember, share this out. Share it to your friends. It's an important show. So thanks so much for being with us, Keira. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Sorry, I'll try that.